Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to Tier 1 Apex Online Racing. This is Season 16. We put a little thing in the chat earlier on just to see if anyone thought that possibly Luke Whitehead, our reigning champion, could be dethroned. And at the moment, it's a yes. People are thinking he can finally be dethroned this time round. 79% of people saying that yes, he can be dethroned. So, are we going to see a new championship leader this time round, or is Luke going to be up to his old tricks and manage to take back another win and another season for his belt? Although I don't believe he is even here for the first race to defend his title, so we will have to see how that goes. This could be Aidan Walshingham's season. This could be the one where he finally manages to take the win. As always, I am Tim360 Learn here for you again this season. I was in the booth last time with Rage, and Rage is on paternity leave this time around, so congratulations to Rage for that one. So he will be back at some point, quite possibly. This isn't a full goodbye. This is it's merely a stepping stone, and we will see how things go. But hopefully we will still be putting on the same quality that we were and have always been. You may recognise me from Tuesday evenings. That's a Tier 2, so if you can't get enough of GT3 racing here on ACC, then by all means jump on to us on a Tuesday night, same time, same place, and you get to watch it all over again with the Tier 2 guys. Rising stars is what I like to call the Tier 2 lot of drivers. Lots of drivers here this season that were in Tier 2 last time. And so let's have a quick look now as qualifying begins here with round 1. And this is at the Nurburgring, the GP circuit. Fantastic circuit, lots of different types of corners, some great flyers, some slightly slower ones as well. Car number 966 is our first car out on track, and that is Simon Kabaki. As you may be able to tell, some slightly obscure cars out there this evening, and as you can see, there's a Nissan GTR out on the circuit, and that is due to the fantastic bot that we are running, the custom BOP balance of performance. Updated frequently as well to make sure that everybody is within a very, very close time. There is no superior car here. It all comes down to the drivers themselves. The outlap, everybody just getting their tyres up to temperature. Some big names already here as well. Van Thielen was big last time around. Chris Warner, Valentine Barrier here in this evening as well. Nashkadashvili, Jonathan Clifford, Aidan Walshingham. Cannot mind that name. You've got to be aware of that name. Alex Torregrossa, Juko Terminen, huge names. Blizzard, Kaz Lucas, Van Meerveld, fan favourite all the way in Tier 2. Always a good lad. Just an absolute plethora of names, but there are a few big names missing this evening. Notably, the champion is not here for round 1. He is listed to be racing. He is not here this evening, and we know that Jardier is unable to make it this evening, but they will be back. So let's have a quick rundown of last season. So, winning the season last time round was Luke Whitehead, closely followed by Aidan Walshingham. And in the third place was George Boothby. We had Jardier in 4th, Amelais in 5th, Valentine Barrier in 6th, Douglas Thomas in 7th, Chris Warner was 8th, Lathanen 9th, and Samir Bosch was 10th last time round. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all looks this season with some of those big names not here currently. So I don't think anyone's really on a flyer as of yet. I think there's a slight audio issue there. Hopefully that has sorted it and it sounds a little bit better now. Apologies about that one. There's Discord throwing a bit of a wobbly. As always with the first race of the season, they always have a few little teething problems with Discord. And before anyone even begins to tell me that the liveries aren't working, I have installed every livery that was in the official pack and the ones that were sent to me outside of the official pack, because people who really should know better missed their opportunities to send them in. So if they are not appearing on the stream now, that is not my fault. That is they're not running the ones they sent me. So, oh, there we go. Apparently it all sounds much, much better now. Yeah, sorry about that one. Had a little bit of a weird mirroring image going on. But right, so this is Jonathan Clifford coming to... Oh, abandoned the lap. Okay, well, there we go. Not happening at all. In fact, I think he may have completely disconnected from the server at that point. Let's have a little jump on with somebody else out there. Jonathan Clifford, who actually hit the good. Kubaki has now set to lap, but it for some reason disconnected for us for a brief moment, so I'm not sure what happened there. Timing board having an absolute mare at the moment. Oh, this is... Actually, that's a really look, because this is a car that I haven't actually seen on the track as of yet. It's the new Ford. It's the Ford Mustang. In fact, let's see if we can jump on board. Dash mounted cam. Sounding absolutely fantastic. Comes towards the final chicane, throwing it in. It's a rather beautiful sounding machine, this car. Sets out on another flying lap. We're going to stick with Podence. Valentine Barrier has now taken away pole position for the moment. 1:53.465. Plenty of time for people to keep improving though. Still just shy of 10 minutes left. Just seeing in the chat a couple of people asking about how to make liveries and such. That is a dark art that I do not even begin to attempt. I looked at it once and I just thought to myself, you know what, nope, I can talk about this, but I definitely cannot make my own livery. So instead, I just hoard all the ones that get sent to me, so I have a plethora of old ones. I'm going to stick with Podence for just a little bit, running in 10th place at the moment. I'll be very interested to see how this car goes. It's a fresh car to most of us here. Now, was it Morphy that made George Boothby's horrendous Lexus livery that he was running last season? Because that was a very old livery that he had, and it was just absolutely grotesque. I really honestly thought that this would be a little bit louder. It does have a very unique sound, this Mustang. So it flies again down towards the chicane. It seems only right that it is running the number 69 number. Runs towards the line, was running in 16th place. Are we going to see an improvement here? Yes, up into second place. The Mustang with just shy of 8.5 minutes left of qualifying is on the second position on the grid. That is a huge jump up the order. So we'll try and see people that are on big improvements. Valentine Barrier, another driver on a big improvement in the Honda. Another one of these older cars that's had a little bit of a revive. Yes, there was in-game improvements, but also with this lovely BOP that we are running. So just under 8 minutes of qualifying left. Just want to give a quick shout out to people that have made this happen. Obviously, everybody behind those doors and curtains, all the moderators and coordinators and such. But also a quick shout out to our sponsors, Driver 61. So a huge thank you to them for continuing to sponsor us. Been sponsors of us for quite a while now. There's obviously links to all their products in the description for this video, and also there is a link to our Patreon. A big shout out to our patrons as well, who are helping keeping everything going. Oh, Eric Delfante in another one of the Hondas has also taken it. Eric Delfante at the moment is completely level on his time, coming into the final chicane, and in fact now he has lost time, so this will be a bailout. And here we go, right, on with another driver. Here we are with, and this is Paduano. Oh, and in fact, comes across the line. We jump on him a little bit late. Comes up across the line in second place. Huge improvement for him. Absolutely fantastic driving. As obviously first race of the season, so there will be names that I am, for the first time ever, reading here. So we'll do very best to make sure that I get them right, but feel free to berate me in the chat if you know it is pronounced differently. I've just noticed that that Blizzard has a very, very high ping, so hopefully that does stay reasonably static. This is Jentel Van Thielen, or Jentel the Lentil, I think we nicknamed him last time round. Big jump up the order for him, up into 12th place, so be happy with that one. Anyone else out there on improvements? Still just shy of 6 minutes after qualifying. Aidan Walshingham down in 40th place, so not entirely sure what's going on there. I will be talking to the Lottery boys, because for some reason they do not have a livery that they've given to me, which seems absolutely ridiculous for such a giant team. So I'm on to you, Aidan. I will be coming for your livery. I want it. Slowly forward all the liveries. There'll be none left for anyone else. Just seeing in the chat, yes, the Padawan last season definitely came up with that one. I think that might be Rage that came up with that one. Stick on board for the minute with Aidan. He is rattling together a pretty decent time. He's 1.4 seconds up on his previous best, which is not unsurprising really, because I don't think he's actually set a valid lap time yet. Goodness gracious, that's a bit of a bright that's a bit of a bright livery on the front of that Mustang we just saw come through. Didn't think you'd be able to hear the engine of the McLaren over the screeching Eagles coming off of that one. But still coming up towards the line. He is now 2.3 seconds up, so this is presumably going to be his first actual clean lap. No one in making big improvements right near the front. This is going to be the big one to keep an eye on, though. It's going to be Walshingham. He's the kind of driver who said he came second in the championship last time around, so there's no reason he cannot be right up there at the front. So here we go, comes across the line. He was in 41st place, now up into 4th place. First clean flying lap, and he gets himself straight up there. That is a huge improvement. The Audi's diving out the way, letting him through. It'll be very, very interesting to see how people go. Delphante, a driver we did see last season. I don't feel like we saw that much of him though. It's a good chance. Get into it. I recognise the name Delphante. I didn't see it on my tier 2 drivers. This is the issue when you do multiple tiers with Apex Racing. It all becomes a little bit of a blur after a while. But I definitely know the name. I'm not sure what I know Delphante from, but I definitely know the name, and he is putting in some seriously good times. A 1:52.777. Aidan Walshingham has not yet been able to improve, and it's actually down on his time. Someone who is improved now is Kristen Podens in the number 69 Ford Mustang. Hard. There we go. Ferrari jumps out of the way, lets him through. Just over 2 minutes left of qualifying, so he's got time to get this lap in. This is going to be his penultimate lap. He's not going to get another chance after this. He has now actually settled on his time. Someone who is on an improvement though, Toro Grosso, in the Winning Rush GP M4 BMW. Openly admit, when this car first came out, I thought it was absolutely ugly, but it has grown on me significantly. The front end of this thing really does look super aggressive. Still up on his time at the moment. Chris Warner, we saw very briefly, was on an improvement. Terminen also on a slight improvement, and Walshingham as well on an improvement. So we're going to see maybe some rummaging of the time. We're going to stick with Toro Rosso for now. Slowly going down the order, but he is still up on his time. He's only just up on his time though, but look how close everybody is. I think it's the top 24 drivers, up into 11th place. Yeah, top 24 drivers all within a second of each other. Gives you an idea of just how close the racing is going to be this evening. So Terminen is on an improvement. That gorgeous Ferrari. These pretty wild colours that we've got fairly used to now. Towards the chicane one last time. This is going to be, oh, he might get one more in after this, to be fair. He has sort of levelled out on his lap time. There's no big improvement coming, I don't think. He should get one more try after this. 12th place is where he is sitting on the list at the moment. Aidan Walshingham down to 13th place, but is improving. It's a small improvement, but up into 3rd place. Through he goes. So there'll be a couple of drivers still out there on their final in laps. Toro Rosso is one of those drivers. Having a little look around the rest of the field to see if there's anyone on a big improvement. Tadic was up into 33rd place, so I think a bit of a hard season, Tadic, this time round at the beginning. Ross at 0.2 on second up. Terminen as well, 0.2. Those two currently running in 11th, 12th. But this will be their one of the final chances to come across the line, and we can see what we get as they come thundering across the line. Toro Rosso still 0.2 up on his lap, and this is going to put him up into 6th place. Great lap for him. Terminen, another driver, as we said, 0.1 up on his time. What can he do? There, Vinceman. Meerveld as well. Further back on the track at the moment, but he is still improving. Terminen is... Oh, no, he's not. He's very... Do apologise to that. We'll be back to Meerveld for a second. And Meerveld glides into that final chicane in that screaming V10 Audi. Whips towards the line. BMW goes very evasive to try and make sure he doesn't cause any issues. 28th place at the moment for Meerveld, is just inside the top 20. Can he improve? Yes, he can, up in 24th place. Lovely bit of driving from him. And from what I can tell, that is everybody out there on a flyer done at this point. So Delphante is currently our leading driver. So let's have a little bit of a look. Good, let us go. There we go. That's what we wanted. Let's nip up to the heli-cam. Sorry, the drone cam, as I probably should be calling it at this point. Who even has a helicopter at race circuits anymore? Certainly not us. Right, here we go. We are about to get into the grid ordering and also be a little bit of an opportunity to run through the calendar for this year just before we go any further. So the calendar for this year as it stands, round 1 here at the Nurburgring. Then we are off to Hungaroring, getting all the rings out of the way first. Then it is Bathurst, off to Snetterton, which was actually voted by our patrons as far as I'm aware. Valencia after that. Laguna Seca, absolutely fantastic circuit. Then the Red Bull Ring. I don't think really there's any other rings left. That's all the rings that you can have here in ACC. But here we go. Let's run through this glorious grid that we've got just over 3 minutes before we start the formation lap. Obviously, this is one of those circuits and type of racing, GT3 racing, where you do get a rolling start. So no sudden scrabbles to try and get off the line. It is a lovely procession of cars. They will line up and they will all be sat at the same speed or reasonably close, or they set off down towards turn 1. It should be some fantastic racing. Right. First on the grid is Del Fante in pole position. Second place is Kristen's Podens. Valentine Barrier in third position. Aidan Walshingham down in fourth place, looking to try and get his first AOR championship this time around, I believe. The Padawan in fifth position. Toro Grossa in sixth. Lucas Congretel, seventh place. And this is a new name for us this season. And this is Chris Zamanes. We'll go with Juan Zamez? We'll probably go with Chris for now. Zenotis down in 9th place. Abe Santima in 10th place. Nashkadashvili back with us again this season in 11th place. Chico Terminen 12th place. Michael Thomas 13th place. Mikowski in 14th place. Oh, this is a new name for us as well. Alexander Lybuslaski. Apologies to that one. It's probably going to be Alexander on that one. Josh Waring in 16th place. The Yentl Van Thielen in 17th place. Chris Warner, 18th place. We have another new name here as well. Adrian, this is Hanovich, 19th place. Oh, another new name for us. Again here, lots of new drivers this season. Fantastic to see. We do always get this in the summer seasons where some of the big names decide to take the summer off. But it's very nice to see Tier 1 with some new faces in it and possibly here to dethrone the old guard a little bit. So this is Francesco Gardanetto. Skylar Lovering running in 21st place. 22nd is Volkan Asiacek. Daniel Salam in 23rd place. Vince Van Meerveld. 24th place. Buzzoff in 25th. Novikov in 26th place. Simon Kubaki 27th. Delubra 28th place. Vidic in 29th. And in 30th place is Kumpu. Chris Vining, 31st place. Kaz Lucas in 32nd. 33rd is Tadic. Saniel Tadic. I think we might have multiple Tadics actually possibly this season. 34th place is Damien Bosch. 35th is Benjamin King. 36th is Jacob Blizzard. Fingers crossed his connection can stay stable because that does look a little bit scary to me. Koretin Vilga in 37th place. Vajanovic in 38th. Fernandez 39th. Jonathan Clifford down in 40th. 41st is, well, that is an incredibly long name, Junior Lock-and-Load Jr. We'll probably just go with Junior on that one. And Remy Papin rounding out the grid. For some reason, I can't see his car. There it is. Not sure why it wasn't in that. Probably because it's a new car. Need to have a little bit of a fiddle with that one. But there we go. So back on to the drone cam. You can see the evening. It's 7 o'clock. Well, just gone 7 o'clock in-game time. And the cars begin their outlap. This is the only time they get a little bit of warmth into those tyres before heading out onto the opening lap of the race. It's going to be mad into turn 1. It always is, especially the opening race of the season. No one knows how everybody races, and we've got cars that we've never seen before here in Apex Online Racing, mainly in the form of the Ford Mustang. So down at the Castro, it's going to be pretty intense, and then we've got back-to-back left and right corners through the Mercedes arena, or arena. Turn 6 and 7, and down the hill towards turn 8 we'll see going to Dunlop, a mad dash up through the Schumacher S's. So you can just see them coming down through turn 7. Del Fante is going to be looking to try and get a good start. I did see someone earlier on saying about is the Honda just relevant at this track or is it everywhere? This is the joy of this live and up-to-date balance of performance. Every car is competitive at every circuit. Within reason, obviously every car is going to have slight advantages on different circuits just because of the way the circuits are laid out. But realistically, their lap times should be incredibly close. Not only because of driver skill, also because of the way the balance of performance works. A couple of shout-outs coming through now for different teams. Car number 999 and car number 212. Let's just indulge them a little bit. Let's try and find those numbers. 999. That is Jonathan Clifford, who is surprisingly far back on the grid. 2-2. Let's range. 2-2. Being incredibly blind. If you hadn't already guessed, very dyslexic and numerically dyslexic as well. So always fun when you're trying to do this kind of thing. I'm not actually seeing 2-1-2. Maybe I've gone mad, but I can't see 2-1-2 at all. Oh yes, I can. It's there. It's Junior. I'm just insane. It was right there beneath me. I just wasn't looking in the right place. Carnival 95 as well, getting a shout out. Carnival 95. That is buzzing, isn't it? Yes, that is. Oh, and he is in what I believe to be the Corello Porsche. I absolutely love this thing. Cannot drive it to save my life, but it's a fantastic looking car. Right, cars all beginning to stack up now, getting themselves ready. We are going to go on the drone cam over our leader for now, our pole sitting driver. Big names here at the front. Delfante, Podence, Barrier, Walshingham, the Padawan, Toro Rossa, Congretto. So many big names all right there inside that top 10 drivers. We'll stick with the drone cam for now. Hopefully we can go to a few replays as long as there's not too much going on. It's a bit difficult to go for it. This is now it's the final run to the line. The opening race of Season 16 Apex Online Racing Sprint Cup Series. And they are away, and it's a fantastic start for Delfante. A little bit weak for Bodens. He's going to have to move across the right-hand side to go defensive. Looks like Walshingham's got a decent run around the outside, if he can make it stick. Hopefully everyone keeps it clean. Can't see any yellow flags yet. Don't think. No, it looks like most people are clean. Oh, there's an incident there. Somebody went round. That looked to be one of the Aston Martins. Got a little bit choked up. Yes, it was. It was kind of a 17. Oh, there's a bit of mess up at the beginning. Always be very, very difficult, like at the beginning of the season. You've got new drivers around you. There we go. Delfante already doing a fantastic job of trying to pull away from everybody else. Doing very, very well indeed, actually. Let's see if we can just get out over the rear wind shot. There it is, my favourite shot. You can see all the way back through the grid. All the cars now as they're coming through Dunlop and now back on the accelerator. But look at the way Eric Delfante has already completely broken away from the rest of the pack. Absolutely thundering away at the moment. For lap one, I would say this has been pretty clean so far. Jumping back into the mid-pack though, Van Meerveld having a nice battle with Kaz Lucas, and Kaz Lucas is the driver of that absolutely wild liveried Mustang. I think that might be a little bit of a nod to the late Ken Block, that car. It does look a little bit like that. In fact, let's see if we can have a closer at that one. Here's car number one. Maybe the time will sort itself out. Yes, that is definitely a little bit of a nod to the late Ken Block. It's Leah Block's daughter now. He's actually taking on quite a lot of his different bits and pieces and going into racing. Let's have a little bit of a look further back. Congretto is in the pits. That is the driver we saw got rotated earlier on. Tadic is coming into the pits as well. So a couple of drivers coming in fairly early. Alexander as well coming into the pits, and that is another car clearly showing some front end damage. Remy Papin on a bit of a drive though. Already up at 24th place. Big sets. Remember the first couple of laps, but they're going to be back to the inside. Tries to look at the inside. It's the triple of the double 1-5 car. Can he do anything here? No, he can't. They're trying it around the outside. It'll be a bit of a hard mission to try and do it here, I think, though. The Mustang does have the legs, and it seems to be all right on the brakes. Goes up the inside, a little bit of a rub. Really nice little run there. It does get through. A little bit of a rub though. Obviously here in Tier 1 you do get live stewarding, and I will do my very best to keep an eye on all the racing and on the live stewarding at the same time. Forgive me if I do miss anything. So far nothing has appeared in the old live stewarding chat. And still, Remy Papin pushing forward, trying to make a little bit of headway and see what he can do. So yes, as I said, live stewarding here in Tier 1, and then all the other tiers will race tomorrow. Then it's all done post-race. And looking around the outside, Remy Papin on a huge charge, going after Vidic. Can he do anything here on the inside? Going to be side by side through the chicane. He's going to get the traction around the outside. Brilliant manoeuvre. Can't believe he managed to get that to stick. The Mustang, obviously not just good in the straight line. That thing is looking very, very dominant, even in the corners. So a quick jump back on board. Dofante has definitely broken away. Or kind of a 16 we just seen a yellow flag out for. See if we can find out what went on there. It was on my time screen for a brief moment and it was moved. That is Deleubre. Why didn't we have that? Let's see if we can jump back on replay. Here we go on the replay. So this is through the final chicane. Tries to go up the inside. There's a huge dive on the brakes. Oh, and gets rear-ended by the 290. That was it's a bit of an odd thing, really, because, I mean, that was just really bad luck. He did get through. I just don't think the 290 was expecting. I mean, pretty much just found a space that nobody else was really working with. So, yeah, a bit of a shame there for Deleubre. That was an amazing move on the brakes, but I think it just caught everyone a little bit off guard. It could be a bit like this in this first race of the season. New drivers all working together, new cars. Lovely mid-pack battle going on now. This is in the lower 20s, kind of a 95, buzz off. That lovely Grello Porsche. Is it green? Is it yellow? It's legal, it's Grello. Amazingly, the Chris Vining of the BMW managed to go all the way around the outside, and in fact now Clifford looking like he's on the attack. Buzzov is on a bit of a slow one actually. He's down on his lap time, so I think he's having a bit of a lost lap really. Vining and Clifford coming up behind him. There are two drivers that you do not want to keep stuck behind you for too long. They will find a way through. They might be gentlemanly racers, but they are still racers. They will find a way. Maybe the time will sort his life out of it, because for some reason he's not showing it as it should be. It's Clifford and Fernandez, that's who it is. It's not Vining and Clifford, it's Clifford and Fernandez. Should have known that with the winning Rush BMW. Starting to close up a little bit now at the front end. It's about half a second between Borchner and Podens. Santima as well. He is in 7th place at the moment in the Genius. The Genius Esports car, Abe Santima. As I said before, do not at me about the lack of liveries. That is the drivers themselves. I have everything installed, everything that was sent to me I have put on screen. Everything is there, so if they're not using their right liveries, go and, I don't know, throw bagels at them or something. Just let them know that they're using the wrong liveries. It's not my fault. I've done everything in my power. Sadly going through over 100 liveries. Right, a little bit of a battle further down now. Novikov, AC check. Nice little mid-pack battle. Ooh, and it's looking actually like Mikowski as well. He's on the attack. He tries to go up the inside. He does get a little bit of an overlap. He's going to be on the outside. Can he get the switch back? Not sure he's going to be able to make that work, but he gets a brilliant run off the corner. He is right on the back of the AC check now. Can he do anything? Going to go, ooh, they're on the outside, but he's going to be on the inside of the final chicane. They do bump slightly. He's put a break in his own. Keep it clean, lads. Oh, they both get together and both go off. I think the real winner there was Kaz Lucas. Kaz Lucas is going to be able to come flying on through, I think, at this point. I'm sure that's Kaz Lucas. Could be the #1 car. There it is. Now the touch screen's working fine. If anyone is watching this for the very first time, this will be baptism of fire. To know what ACC can be like sometimes. The timing screen can be completely wrong for a period of time until they cross the line. Or sometimes they just decide to remove names completely wrong at the time. But that is the joy of Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's going to be very interesting to see the future of this simulation as well. Obviously with the basically Assetto Corsa 2 officially announced, and trailers and bits and pieces starting to come out now as well. I think there actually might be a page on Steam. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this game continues to be supported as the future goes on. Right, at the front now, Poland is becoming a little bit of a cork in a bottle. Dolfante has definitely escaped, but the mid-engined cars have really come to life, washing up the barrier. Two very, very fast drivers. In fact, they're starting to have a little bit of a squabble themselves. I'm going to jump on the barrier. Very, very keen to try and show Aiden the squabble. About to roll over easily. He does get quite a nice overlap. He's going to be around the outside. No, he doesn't. Drops back in behind Aiden. A little bit of curve there. Just managed to hold on to it. These two really ought to stop squabbling and just get themselves past Podens. I think that's going to be their smartest move they could do, is just get themselves going, because if they keep holding themselves up, Toro Rosso and Thomas, that pair of BMWs will be able to catch up with them. And at the moment, Podens is rubbing his hands together and saying, you crack on, lads, you keep going at each other. I'm just going to sit here, keep maintaining this gap and just trying to pull away. But there was a brief moment where pushing the barrier were very, very much in play for second and third place. If they can just stop squabbling over what they've got already. Further back now, car number 966, Kubacki in the GTR. Oh, he's got a Ferrari up the inside of him. The Ferrari just touches and over rotates. I'm going to flash the lights there. I think that was... Is that Adrian? Adrian, yeah, it was. Adrian already trying to take a position back now. Around the outside, Novikov can't get it done and leaves himself open, and now another one of the Aston Martins on the attack, number 11, pushing to try and make it work. Well, back again now, 26th place, this is Vidic. Lovely little battle there with Chris Vining. Just ahead. This is Skyler Lovering chasing off the back of Bilger. It's undercut Mercedes 2020. Oh, I think he got a little bit unsettled on the exit, lost a little bit of traction. The Ferrari being able to catch right up onto the back of him now. Can he make something work here? I'm not sure. He's going to be pushing super, super close. Oh, car number 966. We saw a yellow flag for car number 966. What happened there? So we find them quickly. We're at 14th place. Are they going to be continuing to be 14th place? Found him there. Going back 30 seconds, see if we can spot what happened. This looks like he's going up towards the end of the lap. Yes, he is through the chicane. Oh, massively outbrakes himself. He gets absolutely heated into the gravel. Absolutely flying there. So in terms of the pits, we did continue to drive. So why is it showing return to the pits then? There we go. Apparently having some audio issues, so I do apologise to everyone. Apparently my the game volume was a little bit loud for everyone at home, so do let us know if that sounds a little bit better. Hopefully it's significantly less than it was before. You mean you're not happy that it was drowning out my voice? I honestly thought that would be the main thing that people would complain about. Ah, okay, apparently it's very hard to hear the comms over the cars. What I can do is turn that up a little bit so you can hear my voice, and hopefully it's all a bit better. Ah, it's better now, apparently. Thank you very much, Andrex UK. You need to come out of retirement, mate. Come back, show these young whippersnappers what it's all about. Oh, apparently nothing really changed, to be honest. I've definitely made adjustments. Let's just see how it goes. We're on the drone cam at the moment. We'll go back to the other cams. Oh, there we go. Apparently it's better now. There we go. I think that's just the delay. Right, we are now back in the battle for second place. It's all going on. Moves looking to be made down the inside. Poden's very much under attack. Walsingham and Barrier are still squabbling it out. And that's a very good point I've just noticed as well. Yeah, Remy Papin up to 19th place already. The man on an absolute charge at the moment. I mean, this is the one I want to keep an eye on, is this battle for second place, because essentially it really is a case that Barrier and Walsingham just need to sort themselves out a little bit, stop squabbling like schoolboys and really work together. Look at the G League Esports Elite. That absolutely fantastic car, the 66 of Remy Papin. That car is absolutely flying. Let's have a look at their best lap. Best lap was a 1:54.3. Bearing in mind they've been surrounded by traffic pretty much this entire race. There is no chance to have a load of clean air and optimum line every single time. But obviously Remy Papin showing that this car really does have such absolutely amazing pace. Yes, and obviously there's not only the Independent Drivers' Championship, there is also the Team Championship as well that is going on as well, and drivers have until the third race of the season to officially name their teams. After that, it's just too late. You've missed out on it. But the G League Esports Elite, I think there's actually quite a few of them out there this evening. I know it's 2 drivers per team, but you wouldn't be surprised if we have some maybe slightly variations of names. Oh, car number 222. We've seen them with a yellow flag. That is Vujanovic. Oh, let's go back and see what happened. Is he going to let us? Yes, it is. So that looks to be down at Dunlop, going up towards the Schumacher S's, I'm going to vote. Is this a little bit too much curb and just over-rotated the car? Or what's happened here? Throws it in there. Yeah, oh! That was an odd one. There was a Mercedes just kind of stopped on the apex. I'm not entirely sure what that was all about. For whatever reason, they were beached. So I wonder if that car had almost beached itself on the curbing. That was a very, very odd one. I don't think I've ever actually seen that. And that was Chris Warner, I believe. Chris Warner, it was. You know what? This is interesting enough to try and go far enough back. Yeah, so he spun. What happened there? Oh, he just spun and then just like he was just stuck in place. He was trying to get the car going, and then the Porsche just, I'm guessing, just did not see the yellow flags. Sometimes it might not have even called them out as the car hadn't come to a complete stop. So a bit of an odd incident, but that did just appear to be a little bit unlucky, really. It was a case of the car had spun. He was doing the right things. He was holding on to the right kind of position. I think he rolled back ever so slightly. I think it was while he was trying to get the car started and moving. Oh, but then again, we've seen him spin again. So that car obviously has some serious rear end issues and obviously a lot of damage. As we just saw there, while we're still on the replay of this car as it's trying to return to the pits, that car obviously is absolutely annihilated on the back end. Hopefully we'll come out of replay mode in just a moment and we'll catch back up with the live action. There we go. Right, so on board, Toro Grosso running in 5th place at the moment. Oh, Valentine Barrier. What? Oh, there we go. See, this is what happens. Every time we try and do anything, we lose something that happens. And more importantly, Valentine Barrier now has dropped back to 6th place. He was squabbling it out with Aidan Walshingham for quite a while. Good evening, Kiki Mac. Good to see you in the chat. So now, Barrier has gone from battling for 3rd place to now he's all the way back in 6th place. So he'll be slightly disappointed with that one. And Aidan Walshingham is slowly catching up the back of Podens again. But now he is released from the battle. The barrier that was Barrier is no longer there to hold him back. Let's see if he can sort of stop squabbling and just get on with it and see if he can get past. He has caught up with the back of Podens very, very quickly. Remy Papin's gained another position, 18th on the grid now. Another little battle going on here just inside the top 10. This is Nottins. He's got Van Thielen right behind him. Doing absolutely fantastically at the moment. This little battle's starting to heat up. That is the Porsche in the background that we saw earlier on. Had that little bit of an incident where it clipped the back of the BMW. Not BMW, Mercedes. That's the one we're on about. So I think it's only right that we have a quick jump on Del Fante, who is just flying at the moment. Outlapping absolutely everybody massively. He's got the fastest lap of the race with the 153.8. And he's currently lapping in the low 154s compared to everyone else, which is doing high 54s. So again, on board with Christos Podins, G-Liga Esports Elite. Absolutely fantastic car. Great to see the Mustang here and become not just competitive but sort of evenly competitive. Sometimes you do see with the new cars, they come into the game and they sort of get a little bit of a buff to get people using it. But it seems that the balance of performance is working absolutely fantastically. And Podin's doing an absolutely fantastic job, as is Aidan Walsingham here, hanging on to the back of him. Oh, there we go. Kaz Lucas and Waring apparently are both Celtic Bromance drivers. So, a little look. That's car number 1 and car number 34. Let's get them on. Let's see if we can find them. Here's Kaz Lucas. Oh yeah, in the Ken Block car, or the Leah Block car, as it might be now. I'm pretty sure it's Leah Block. Is his daughter's name. Apologies if I'm wrong. I mean, no offence to anyone, but it's one of those things. I'm not going to follow that closely. Car number 34. Where is car number 34? Come on, brain. Josh Waring. Where is Josh Waring gone? Why can't I see Waring? Is he left? No, he's in 13th place. I'm just incredibly blind. Apologies to everyone at home. There you go. G-Liga Esports Elite. There you go. Car number 34. P13. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of an update in the chat. There we go. Leah Block. It is indeed that name. And apparently she's doing F1 Academy now, which is fantastic. Really great that some good things are coming out of obviously the tragic end that was Ken Block's life, because he cut significantly short. Right, Toro Grossa into the pits. Obviously here there is a mandatory pit stop. You are not allowed to refuel, but you do have to change tyres in the pits. So everyone does the same amount of pit stop. It's a great way of doing it. Del Fante are nearly 10 seconds ahead of everybody else. And, oh, we've missed that. At some point, there was a change for position. And annoyingly, we went 30 seconds back, and then we still didn't catch it. So apologies for that one at home. But Aidan Walsingham has taken away second place from Christos Podins. So the Brit has beaten the American when it comes to just cars anyway. All these car branding. The McLaren gone through on the Thunder and Great Ford. This is what I love about GT racing. You pretty much could not have more different cars. You look at the Mustang. That is a great big ginormous car. Similar to like the Bentley back in the day. It was a massive car. Yes, they are essentially like muscle cars or kind of sports cars, but then you look at it compared to something like the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the McLaren. These cars are full-blown, basically race cars for the road. But just the way that they are able to compete. The M4, that is by no means a race car. Yes, it's very fast, and there's probably going to be lots of BMW boys coming after me now. I'm sorry, but they are essentially saloon cars, or you know, coupes. But they are here, and this is the joy of GT racing. It lets you put these different cars on the track all together, and they all mix and fight equally. It is fantastic to see. Speaking of fighting equally, Nash Gadashvili, car number 728, and the 214, having a nice little squabble and looking to maybe try and pick up the pieces is car number 77 of Znotins. Oh no, he's gone into the pits, decided to jump into the pits. We've got some other drivers into there as well. Sort of getting towards that mid-stage in the race. Michael Thomas in the WRT. I love this livery. It's a gorgeous livery from, obviously, Real World Racing as well. There's an amazing KFC liveried Audi as well that I've seen a few times. I think Celtic Romance might have made their own version of that, or somebody made their own version of it. There's been some fantastic liveries there, but yes, it should be interesting to see how the liveries and stuff change throughout the season as people continue to upload them and send them through. Michael Thomas still on board with him now. At the moment, it's very much being sniffed around by Barrier. Chat going wild. Yes, this is where sometimes you might be looking at one of your teams and thinking, oh my good lord, what an amazing amount of time. They've made up some huge positions, but then you need to keep an eye on the pits at this point. The pit stop is fairly long here at the Nurburgring GP circuit. It's not the quickest entry. You do have to really get on the brakes quite early and swing the car in. But yes, very, very, it's one of those things that at the moment you have to kind of keep a little bit of an eye. So at the moment, oh, there we go, 2 cars in, and that is Podens and Thomas both into the pits immediately. Actually, there's a nice little run to get an idea of what it's like. On the brakes, get it slowed down before the line. And Thomas really was trying to sort of see if he could outbrake that Mustang and gain an advantage. Loads of cars coming in. Car number 95. We're getting a shout out for car number 95. Let's get him on the screen. Let's do it. That's buzz off. There he is. It's the Grello car. Yes. Yes, you get a thumbs up from me, car number 95. Love a bit of the Grello livery. It's a fantastic looking car. Nice and bright. Oh, I've already got tier 2 drivers starting to chat in the tier 1 chat. Yep. Tier 2 is one of those things, it's the, I like to call it the rising star. We've had some big names. Oh, Nashkadashvili has picked up a 5-second penalty, and I will do my best to find out what happened there. Just need to find Discord. It's hidden from me. Not seeing anything as of yet to explain as to why. Hopefully that's going to appear in the chat in just a moment. Hopefully. I say hopefully. If it doesn't, I'll look like a fool. But 5-second penalty there for Nashkadashvili. Oh, here we go. Nashkadashvili is responsible and receives a penalty for making contact with the car in front. He makes contact with the car in front and... Oh, okay. So a lot of information there. Thank you, Kiki Mac. And a big shout out to the coordinators working behind the scenes to put this kind of information out there for the public. Saves me having to try and read it all furiously at the same time. So Delfante still hasn't completed his pit. He is continuing to thunder away. And once Aiden crosses the line, we'll get an idea. Nearly 8.5 seconds in front of the minute at the moment. And Aiden Walsingham in second place. Valentine Barrier in third, but obviously cars around Barrier have pitted. So unless he can put in some fantastic times, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do too much. Oh, there we go. Bit more coming in. There we go. There you go. Look, Kiki Mac and also Morphe putting in the same information very, very quickly. Yeah, keep up, Morphe. Yeah, is responsible for and receives a penalty for making contact with the car in front, who makes contact with the car in front of them, putting that car into a half spin. So basically, he started the rear ends, and that's how it all went. So. Right. Znotins down in 19th place at the moment. This car has completed his pit stops. So in terms of drivers that have completed pit stops, Thomas is our leading car that has completed a pit stop. So let's have a quick jump back on board with Michael Thomas. And that is in the lovely WRT McDonald's liveried car. This is our leading driver that has pitted, and we'll have to wait and see what the timing board does, because it's now saying that Novikov is technically in front, but that might not be the case. If we jump on here, it's Alexander Novikov, car number 369 in the Like My Lap liveried car. Yeah, there we go. The timing board sorted itself out a little bit, and Novikov is now moving into the correct position on the timing board. That 5-second penalty for Nash Gadashvili, that is quite a sting in the sort of first race of the season. It's not what you want. You especially don't want to be picking up any license points. You know, sort of you pick up too many license points and then that's it. You end up picking up qualifying bans or even possibly race bans. In fact, I think one of our drivers, that might be why Barrier, no, who was it? Odins that started really far back? One of our drivers had a quali ban, actually. I do remember now. So back on board with Michael Thomas, who is still our leading pitted driver. We've got Vilga, Vining and Buzzoff all in the pits at the moment. Delphante still out there. Wolstingham's still out there as well. And Delphante is still outlapping everyone at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see when Delphante decides. Yes, there we go, Papin. Yes, I believe he actually had carried over his license points from last season. And so he was not able to qualify. That would make sense. That's why he sat in the box. And has made an absolutely great run, to be fair, up to this point. Whereabouts is he sitting now? Let's have a look at the old live timing. Remy Papin, who has completed his pit stop, running in 19th place. So that's a pretty good effort. Keep an eye on our top. Aidan Walsingham into the pits. Barrier into the pits as well. So Delphante is staying out. There we go, Morphy with the clarification that yes, if they received enough license points on their last race, then they would have to serve it on the next race. Whether or not that be in the same season or not, that is when you serve them. Delphante still absolutely flying. Absolutely ridiculous pace from this car this evening. The Honda does look very, very sort of, you know, comfortable out there. Let's see where Thomas is in relation to car number 13 and 72. Yes, this is where the names for liveries and then the names of actual teams they're on get a little bit confused and wobbly here. Right, car number 13 of Walsingham is still stationary. He is now moving, but I don't think he's going to be quick enough, and I think we're going to lose a position here, possibly down into turn one. I know Walsingham is out of the pits. Can he do anything though? He's going to be on cold tyres, and immediately car number 28 on the offensive. He's going to be looking to try and go through. Thomas will be very, very keen to try and take advantage of the fact that his tyres will be up to temperature. They might have a few less laps in them by the end of the race, but this is going to be the best time, if any, that he is going to be able to get through. And I think Nash Dashbelly is going to be kicking himself about that 5-second penalty, running in 9th at the moment, but it's going to see him tumble down the order. The gaps between people are so close. Oh, big penalties, I think, coming through here as well. We've got a Vince van Meerveld is responsible for causing a moderate avoidable collision in turn 2 by making contact with Daniel Salon. No party is solely to blame for the contact in the 3-wide situation. However, the throttling into turn traffic 17, Lewis Congrattle causes much damage to oncoming cars and also receives a penalty. But from what I can see there is a 30-second penalty for car number 29 and 3 license points, and also a 30-second penalty for car 17 and license points. So they are going to be coming through pretty soon. But oof, that's a big old penalty. 30-second penalty is absolutely ginormous. There we go. There's 2 winning Russia's cars. That's why I was so confused for a moment. I was thinking to myself, hang on, it's showing that it's in the wrong position. But it's not. It is, again, me looking at the timing boards incorrectly. Feel free to abuse me for it. I will continue to do it. I'm sorry, this will keep happening. This little battle now going on, though. Walsingham still holding on to 3rd place at the moment. He did just manage to pit car number 28 as he exited the pit and did manage to do it. So he's holding on to it for now. But Thomas is looking very, very racy. And it's going to be interesting to see who can sort of turn their tyres on and get going. There we go. Finally, Delphante graces the pits with his presence. He decides to come on in. So the next so the next pitted car is Walsingham, and he is still all the way down at the Dunlop. He is miles and miles away, so I don't think we're going to see any kind of a position change here. So a little bit further back, Nashkadashvili is defending like his life depends on it. And realistically, with that 5-second penalty, it really, really does sort of depend on it. He's got a lot of cars queuing up behind him. He is becoming one hell of a cork in a bottle. He's trying to hold on to it. Oh, we can't say things like that in chat. That's just mean. Would the BMWs like to take out Aiden? That's not fair. The boy deserves a chance to win the championship. He's come so close so many times. And also seeing people that are a bit worried about the entry speed for Delphante. If he was going too quick, the game would have penalised him, and it hasn't penalised him, so he obviously got it slowed down just in time. Being sort of a high-end professional driver, it was probably a case of he left it to the very, very last moment to get the car stopped and slowed down into the corner. Right, let's jump back on board with this nice little battle. Move to the inside. We jumped on at the right time. The Lentil goes through. Gentle Van Thielen doing a lovely bit of a drive there. Does go through, and in fact now though there is another, I think it's not it, is yes, is having a go as well, and he gets up through the inside, gets it done. And I'm not sure if these are teammates or not, but yes, the car does go through. And is that Padawan as well going through? Car number 12? Yeah, car number 12 does appear to have some front end damage. And yes, important to shout out that Remy Papin up into 16th place. Absolutely flying still. So the gap at the moment is still just shy of 8 seconds between first and second place. Then sort of this battle for 4th place is still rumbling on. 23 minutes of the race left to go. Still plenty of time for things to kick off, we should say. We'll say that. There's plenty of things to kick off still. Podens looking very racy. In fact, Podens has now set the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:53.602. So there we go. He is really, really on a push. Oh, and here they come. Here come the things. Yes, as I said, multiple drivers with 30-second penalties. Car number 29 and car number 17 with 13-second penalties. 30-second penalties. So just seeing that. That is Congratul, who has actually left the server. And then obviously fan favourite Van Meerveld, who also, yes, has picked up a 30-second penalty. That is all for the lap 1, turn 2 incident as they were going through the Mercedes area. Sorry. Oh, here's a nice little one go. Buzz off, car number 95 looking to the inside. Gets a little bit on the grass. Does get it done though. Throws it in. Car number 78 get the cut back. Yes, he can. Salam goes for it. Nope. There we go. And back down the inside again. And the Grello car just about closes the nose off. Gets it done. Lovely little move there. Buzzov gets that position. So now going to be running in 25th position. And in fact, they're going to gain a position over Mirveld, obviously, with that massive 30-second penalty. Teams being, I mean, so the stewards always being especially harder on drivers on the opening lap, trying to keep people a lot cleaner. I think some people do sort of think it's okay, it's only a simulation, I'll drive how I want, but it ruins a lot of people's fun. But that is an absolutely brilliant move by Buzz-Off there, and kind of a 95 got up the inside, managed to get it done. I thought for a little while he might outbrake himself after a little bit of grass, but he was squeezed all the way to the inside. Sort of a Kevin Estra-esque overtake on the grass. Absolutely fantastically done. Going to jump back a little bit further now. This is Benjamin King, who is very much under attack from the 115. And again, you can see that car behind running damage. Lovely livery here on this 992. Absolutely fantastic looking Porsche. Keep a little bit of an eye on this front battle as well. It is sort of levelling off. Oh, there we go. Karma 95. Apparently, I've been pronouncing their name completely wrong. Is Buzov. So apologies about that one. I will do my best to keep that one in my brain for next time. Abe Santima is another driver on a bit of an attack mode, really. He's got Barrier right on the back of him. I'm sort of getting flashbacks to Aiden and Barrier again. Hopefully it won't go as badly for Barrier this time round as it did last time when we saw him drop right down. But Carnival 72 is very, very much on the attack. Let's see if we can do that over the rear wing shot that I love so much. No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. There it is. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman, catching up with me now. So we look over the rear wing of Santima's car as Valentine Barrier pushes hard to be able to catch up with him. We just see the way there. Santima gets a slightly better exit there. Can the Honda come back? Yes, it does. It's in the slipstream. It's going to have a little bit of a run now. Can he do anything up towards the final chicane? I don't think it's going to be quite close enough. They both go through super clean. Oh, yes, I remember now. Sorry, Kiki Mac. Yes, you are right. It is wearing. It is not worrying, it's wearing. It does feel like it has been the longest off-season ever. And a little move here to the inside. Are we going to see a dive under braking? Yes! Barrier does try to go through. They're going to be side by side. Do they keep it honest? Yes, they do. He's got slightly better traction. And amazingly, he gets the move done even before turn 2. Great shot we caught there on the drone cam. And Barrier now finally gets a chance to have a nibble at the back of that great big Ford Mustang. I imagine he'll be very keen to try and gain a position here. Oh, and why aren't we looking at them? There we go. So we're on board with Podens. Coming through. Here we go. All over the back of him. Like an angry Jack Russell at the postman. That Ford will be doing everything to be as wide as possible. It is already a ginormously wide car, but I imagine there will be a... Maybe popped a few extra McDonald's in, and a big move down the inside for Barrier. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. Amazing bit of driving there. Absolutely fantastic. And I just don't think there was anything that Podens could do to try and stop that. That was absolutely insane. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant dive up the inside. I think, you know what, that is worth a drone cam quick overtake review we'll go for. So yeah, Barrier has come alive in his second half of the race. Fresh tyres. Look at that, down the inside. No real defence even put up there, to be fair, by Podens. I think he kind of knew that Barrier was going to try and push through. No point going too insane and trying to hold people back. It only slows yourself down. You lose more positions. But Barrier, time and time again, has shown us that he is an absolutely fantastic driver, and he is putting on a fantastic show here in race 1. So Podens down to 6th place, so the BMWs have crawled their way up into the top 5. So have a quick rundown now. Just under 17 minutes of the race left to go. So Del Fante running in pole position at the moment. He has led pretty much every single lap of this race, apart from obviously during the pit stage. But apart from that, every lap has been his to take. Aidan Walshingham doing really well as well, running in 2nd place. Michael Thomas as well in 3rd place. Toro Grosso in 4th. Valentin Barrier now to 5th place. Custom Poland in 6th place. Santima 7th. The Lentil Yentel Van Thielen in 8th place. Snotters in 9th place. And the Padawan in 10th place. Absolutely fantastic effort by all these drivers. Lovely to see such close battling, and to be fair, obviously we had a little bit of a lap 1 incident, but I mean, who doesn't have a lap 1 incident? Even the drivers in real life have lap 1 incidents. It'd be very, very nice to see so many people driving so well this evening, and really nice to see the chat so alive as well. Oh, car number 32! We have got a yellow flag out for car number 32. Let's see if we can quickly find who that was. That is Vilga. There we go. Oh, that car is still off the circuit. Let's see if we can catch it now. What happens here? This is the Mercedes area. Oh, just washes wide. Went out into it, and it's come to a bit of a standstill out there. So not sure what's happened there. Whether the car is trying to pull forward, I'm not entirely sure, but it's just kind of sitting there for the moment. Very strange. Not sure what's going on with that car. Yeah, it just seemed to sort of go wide and then just rotate the car, and off they went. I'm kind of hoping that car number 32 has got themselves going again. But car number 32, no, they have left. Yeah, to be fair, I think there might have been a hardware issue. Bit of a shame. Does happen though. Obviously, it's not just real life racing where you can have hardware issues, e.g. engine failure and whatnot. It is in sim racing as well. It's part of it. I think it's the first time we've had this car on the screen, actually. This is the Apex 1 car of Krzysztof Makowski. Car number 11 running in 13th place at the moment, and to be fair, kept his head down and just kind of kept putting in some decent laps. He's got Remy Papin behind him, and I think it's going to be a bit of a squabble going on, I would say, between these two towards the end of the race. Papin obviously made some fantastic moves. I think he did quite an early pit stop though, so whether or not the tyres of that car are going to be a little bit worn, who knows. Getting asked about Blizzard. Where is Blizzard? Let's try and find him. Jacob Blizzard. Car number 97, the Sky Sim Sport. And yes, this is, I believe he is... Oh, yeah, again, you can just see there's a little bit of jumping going around there. And I don't think that's my connection. I think that is Blizzard. Looks a little bit unstable. Or it might be Salam that looks a little bit unstable. But those cars do look a little bit floaty. Definitely. Oh, yeah. See, I'm gonna move away from Blizzard for now. He's running in 26th place at the moment, just because I think his connection to the server might not be the crispest, and I don't want it to then cause me to get crashed out. Oh, typically, I moved away just as he went for a move. We did get it done. That's all right. We didn't miss it. We didn't miss the move. But yeah, you can see the way the car sort of seems to be rubber banding back and forth quite a lot. That can make it very, very hard to get past if you've got a car. But yeah, it can be one of those things that when someone's connection is a little bit different, it can then cause issues on my end while I'm trying to stream everyone's cars all at once at the same time. So we'll stay away a little bit, because sometimes it can be the curse of the bad connection. It spreads. Podens still running in 6th place at the moment. He has got Santima right up his chuff. He is right there, still nibbling away at the Big Mac that is the Ford Mustang. I'm slightly disappointed that there isn't sort of a Big Mac-esque. Oh, big power slide there for car number 69. Trying to get on the power as quickly as possible, and nearly over-rotated the car then. That was very, very close. For a bit curver, I believe that was. Now, absolutely flat out. This is where the Mustang will come alive. A bit like the old Bentley, absolutely monstrously quick in a straight line. Really good at sort of availability. Sort of an available opportunity to get your elbows out and get a little bit of a gap, see if they can push forward. Having a look at laps now. Delphante has taken away the fastest lap of the race again with a 1:53.097. That is a huge jump over anybody else. And more penalties coming in as well. So we have got what's going on here? Car number 97, 25-second time penalty, and that is Jacob Blizzard. So apologies, Jacob Blizzard fans. Jacob Blizzard is responsible for causing the 111 car to spin out in the S's by not adapting enough to too-wide situation in front. Saying the 222 car doesn't have anything, is not involved in that. But yeah, so sadly, Blizzard fans, there is a penalty coming through for that. I think Podens did pit a little bit earlier, and I wonder if maybe that car, so probably similar to the Mercedes, maybe on worn tyres, is a little bit of a pig to drive. Mercedes on fresh tyres, wonderful car. Mercedes on tyres that have been on for more than 3 laps, awful car. So anyone that is managing to drive a Mercedes here this evening, fair play. I think that's why we're not seeing it that high up, sort of in the standing. We did have one out there earlier on, but not entirely sure where it is. But for the moment, Podens is carrying on in 6th place and seems to be making a little bit of a gap. Valentin Barrier is very much under attack from Thomas. Looking at their lap times, yeah. Well, just seeing Andrex and Kiki Mac just discussing issues of the past, it does make me feel slightly better about my own racing. At least you guys were faster. Even if you crashed, you'd probably still beat me. That's fine. The box is where I belong. This is my happy place in my little comms booth. I don't know if anyone's actually ever been to any of the UK circuits, but if you go to Thruxton, you can see the commentary booth, and it essentially is just a shed on some sticks. And it does make me laugh that obviously they have such big races there. They have the British GT, they have, well, actually not British GT there, but they have lots of different things. Yes. And, just reading here, apparently there was someone put TV, managed to change it to TV cameras into Turn 1 while racing themselves. That's fairly well done. That's one of the, I think that's one of the F2 buttons, I think. That's a fairly good effort, that is. So, Jimenez in 6th place. Sorry, that's completely wrong. That is me going in with a different name completely. It's Chris Juanzemez? We're going to go with Chris. I do apologise. I'm going to work on the new names for next season. Next week, sorry. Not next season. Goodness gracious, not that long. Let's jump on board with someone I can say their name. Delphante. There we go. Up in pole position still. And they've absolutely thundered away from their competition. Walsingham pretty much the entire... Oh, car number 97. Do you really want to see it? Do you really want me to show you car number 97? It's going to be... It's Blizzard again. Oh, and in fact, I think we have lost Blizzard. Okay, I think we lost Blizzard. So obviously we had a penalty, and then we just saw a yellow flag for them, and now we've lost them. So a bit of a shame. But Blizzard appears to have left the server. Remy Papin still squabbling it out. He is nearly close enough to Ashbilly to gain a position, but he does have Mikowski right on the back of him. Oh, apparently Papin just took 13th. I missed that, and I apologise. But yeah, he has now gone through. I did think to myself, I didn't think they were in that order. But yeah, my God, look at the way he's thundering away now. So Papin is just shy of 6.5 seconds behind Nashvili. So needs to get that gap down to less than 5 to gain a position after the penalties. Just Waring, got it around that time, is having a little bit of a battle. He's down in 16th place at the moment. And we'll see how this sort of develops. AC Czech having a nice little bit of a squabble as well. We've got Kubacki right behind him. Kubacki, one of those drivers, I think actually did drive in that car again last season. Different livery, I think, last time. I think he was running a Your Way Racing livery last time around. So different livery, possible different team this time around. Go back a little bit further. Benjamin King is going to gain a position, obviously, over Meerveld. He's done a lovely job of defending his position for this amount of time. This is for Herberth Motorsport. I love this livery. It's sort of subtle but intense at the same time. It is a really, really good looking livery. A little bit further down, 28th place. Vidic for Prime E-Racing. Car number 187. Have a nice little battle with Chris Vining. Further up the grid, everything seems to have settled down. Less than 5 minutes left of the race. I think this is going to be the one to keep an eye on. Boden's pushing after the back of Toro Grossa, but he's also got Santima right up the back of him as well. So this little trio of cars could be pretty exciting, I think. This could be the one to keep an eye on. 4.5 minutes left of the race to go. See if we can jump onto the dash again with this car. That's over the rear wing. I don't think that does it any justice, does it? It just doesn't seem to do it as much justice. There we go. This is the dash. Bit of an odd shot, really. Normally there's different inside camera, normally. And so I'm surprised this is the one that we're getting. Normally when the onboard shots is slightly different to this in the different cars. Remy Papin. Oh, there we go. He is inside 5 seconds of Nashvili. So that is definitely another position gained. He's going to be up into 12th position. 3 minutes 20 to go. You can just see the light starting to dip away here at the Nurburgring. It has been a hell of a drive here, really, for Remy Papin, starting all the way from the back. Yeah, I'm just seeing in the chat as well, a couple of people shouting out and saying about how insane the driver has been. Yeah, it is really, really absolutely fantastic. Oh, and he's actually making big ground now, I think, on Toro Grosso in front. Oh, sorry, yeah, this is Bowden, sorry, I do apologise. Again, very similar cars. In fact, the same car, basically. Having a little bit of a look. Sorry, I was reading furiously at the time then, so I went a little bit quiet for just a moment. I do apologise for that with everyone at home. Sometimes it does happen. You just suddenly get distracted and realise, oh, hang on, I'm reading. So having a little bit of a look now. Jacob Blizzard, car number 97, sorry boys and girls at home that were big fans, is receiving a warning for having an unstable connection. And so obviously they've looked back through and reassessed some things. Yeah, and they're giving him a warning for that. So hopefully Connection issues going to be sorted. Big move down the inside now for Podens. Can he do it? He's being given racing room, but not quite. Santima holds on to it. Just about does it. Nicely done. We did think for a brief moment that wasn't going to work, but it did just about hold on. Oh, hang on a second. Is this cleared up? Here we go. Right in the front. The battle for second place has suddenly come out of absolutely nowhere. Valentine Barrier now up the inside of him. Goodness gracious. So Walsingham and Barrier are now side by side down towards Dunlop. Barrier's going to have the inside. Oh, there is contact. A bit of a rub. Aiden does end up in the gravel ever so slightly. No, I'm not entirely sure that Walsingham was ready for that. That was absolutely insane. Barrier, yes, seeing in the chat, he has come to life. He is absolutely fired up and ready to go. So whether or not it's a bit of a case of kind of saving his tyres for this sort of final part of the race, but now realistically, I think he should be able to hold on to it until the line. Where is Delfante? I think we're going to see one more lap out of this, unless Delfante slows for the line, which is going to be a bit risky. I think we're going to see one more lap. Yes, we are. We are going to see another lap. So Barrier and Walsingham are going to go another lap. Barrier absolutely flying. Even though the timer is down to 0, it will not matter until Delfante finishes his final lap. I'm just seeing everyone cheering on Podens in the chat. They want him to try and get into 6th place. Don't think he's going to do it. That gap has opened up seriously in front of him now. That is fairly big. Aidan Walsingham seemingly shaken from that last lap incident and now has Thomas all over the back of him. He really needs to recollect himself and get going. Thomas smells blood in the water, and goodness gracious, if we know anything about McDonald's, it is after blood. It knows what it wants. It is hungry. So we could see Thomas get onto the podium here. This is going to be really, really nail-biting stuff all the way to the end of the line now. Delfante well out ahead. Barrier already broken away and got himself a little bit of a safety buffer. Aidan Walsingham, for whatever reason, really, really down. It was a 1:56 his last lap, so he was really down on his pace. Not sure what happened there. Michael Thomas, though, really starting to apply the pressure. And if I had to be in either of those cars, I definitely want to be in Thomas's position because he's got less to lose and a lot more to gain. Walsingham is desperately trying to hold on to that podium finish. Oh, and he makes... Oh, no, he did just about hold on to it. I thought he was going to go a little bit deep into the second part of the Schumacher races. Doesn't. Manages to hold on to it for now. But Thomas still applying the pressure. Trying to reel him in and just keep the pressure on. Can he force a final lap mistake out of Walsingham? I would very much doubt it. Walsingham may... He might be reasonably young, but God, that man can drive. Delfante about to come across the line. We're going to see him across the line quickly now. Does come across the line. Fantastic drive. Going to jump back on here for this final battle all the way to the line. Walsingham versus Thomas. I think Walsingham has got there, so he might not. Oh, there was so nearly contact there. Kind of a 28 of Thomas really tried to get a better run and see what he could do. And they're all right next to each other. And no, not quite. Walsingham holds on to 3rd place. Really, really good final end to that race. Let's see if we can find Papin. Everyone was cheering him on. Papin coming home in 13th place. I think he is just... Yeah, he's well close enough to Nashkashvili to gain 12th. So after the timing boards, yep, there he goes. Up the order, I think. But absolutely fantastic little drive. All the way back down. Benjamin King, a bit further down the grid. This nice little squad of cars coming through. Hopefully, we are going to get a... some podium interviews. I'd like to think so anyway. The tier 2 guys tend to be pretty friendly with everything, but the winner, Eric Delfante, wins the opening round of season 16 here at Apex Online Racing, brought to you by our lovely patrons. patrons, and also Driver61. Links to everything available in the chat below, on links to the Discord as well if you want to get involved in this kind of racing, which I do highly recommend. It is an absolutely fantastic place to race. Even someone as bad as me can find people to race with. So it's lovely. It's a bit more sort of, put together. It's on a set night at a set time. It's not just jump on whenever you can, but it is lovely to do. The Discord itself is a nice, friendly place to be. But hopefully, I'm going to have some lovely people jumping in to ready for interview, and I can't see them as of yet. They're still driving at the moment. We'll give it to them for the minute. They are still just cruising around, having a nice little drive, having a little moment to themselves, we'll say. But Del Fante, what an absolutely fantastic effort to bring that one home. Pretty much dominated the entire race, I think the whole way through. I think literally apart from during the very end. Sorry, no, during the pit stops there was a little bit of a changeover. But apart from that, pretty much stayed exactly as they were. Right, let's go to a slightly nicer looking screen just for now. And I'll have a rundown through and let you know who won what. Right, so as they came across the line, it was Del Fante in first place, Valentine Barrier in second, Walshingham third, Thomas fourth, Torregrossa fifth, Santima sixth, the Yentl Van Thielen in seventh, Podens eighth, Nottes in 19th, Padawan in 10th, Juan Zemes, I do apologise, I keep butchering that name, 11th, Remy Papin in 12th, Makoski 13th, Dashkadashvili drops down to 14th with that penalty. Who did we have here? Then we had... Oh, God, I should know that name, and I can't think of how to spell it. Let's have a look. 1 second. I feel awful that I cannot remember this gentleman's name. Adrian, that was it. Adrian is in 15th place, Waring in 16th, Asiacek 17th, Kubaki 18th, Loverink 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is Kumpo. So absolutely fantastic effort by all those drivers. Now, hopefully someone's been... Yes, here we go. We've got some of the boys in it. Let's get our first driver in. Let's get Barrier in, because that was pretty epic stuff we saw from Barrier. Let's drag him in. Come on, Discord. Do we need to do? Valentine Barrier. What an absolutely mega race that was for you. That last sort of stint of the race, you seemed to light a fire in your pants and went absolutely flying.
Yeah, it was a very mega stint. I was not really expecting to come back up to P2. But I had mega pace, and I was the one who pitted the latest of that group with Aiden. Aiden pitted on the same lap as me, and then we had tire advantage. And also, let's be honest, the Honda was rapid today around this track, so that definitely helped. But still, from P7 to P2 in not even half an hour, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, it was. It really did seem that the Honda did look pretty nice and stable here this evening. I mean, obviously, Del Fante pretty much just dominated the race from the very beginning. Sort of stayed out there. There was something that happened in your first stint. Did you have an incident? Because you were obviously originally fighting out with Walshingham, and I think we missed the incident. You were just suddenly back in amongst a load of BMWs. What happened to you early in the race?
Yes. In Schumacher, so yeah, I got ahead of Aiden, but then in Schumacher S, I was starting to have quite bad tire drop at that point already. And Schumacher S, I just lost the rear, barely saved it, and lost a couple of positions. And then for the rest of the first stint, I was really struggling with the rear tires.
So the tyres were just sort of absolutely sort of cooked off by that point. Well, I mean, a decent start to the beginning of the season. Obviously, second place, what a place to come through. I was having a little look where you placed last time round, and I'm looking at Tier 2 for some obscure reason. We don't want that from last time round. We want you. So you were 6th in the championship last time round, and your best overall finish last time was a 3rd. So already beating season.
Already beating that.
Already beating it. So here we go. This is the one to go for, I think. I think this, I think this season could be the season where we see some different names up there in the top 3. Obviously, only one of the top 3 finishers last time is here, and that's Aiden. And I mean, you guys really kept each other honest for most of the time there. I think we saw a little bit of rubbing in that in that last final move that you had.
It was a bit of rubbing, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of rubbing, but it didn't look intentional. And I'm sure, you and you and Aiden will be absolutely fine. I'm sure there'll be no bad blood between you. But no, it was an absolutely
No.
fantastic race to watch. Is there any tracks this season that you are really not looking forward to? Because there are some odd circuits on the calendar this year.
Hold on, let me have a look because I'm not sure if I remember it. So we have in the Honda, I am incredibly scared of Bathurst. I'm not sure how that one is gonna go. We're gonna have to find out.
Run absolutely zero rear wing in the hopes that you can keep up on the back straight on that one. I think that's going to be the only way to do it.
I think the car is gonna feel like I think the car is gonna drive like a shopping trolley down the hill, so I'm a bit scared.
That was fun. We'll just put wheels on the outside of the car, and then you'll be all fine. It'll be fine if you do it that way. Right,
Yeah.
I got the other podium finishers queuing up to have a quick chat as well, so we won't keep them too long. Thank you very much for jumping in and joining us, Valentin Barrier. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we move on to the other lads?
Not really.
Not
Just
really.
shout out to Aiden for managing to put up a great defense despite having to fuel save. He'll talk to you a bit more about that.
Ooh,
But yeah,
okay. So we'll find out. We'll find out the details. You've given us a sniff, and now we're gonna go and
a
hunt
hint.
of the maiden. Yeah. Right. Thank you ever so much, mate. And yeah, we will see you next time round. Obviously, same time next week. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Aiden, the man who we all thought was going to come in second, and then for a little while we thought you were going to come in first as well. Is this the start of the championship you wanted? I honestly thought, here we go. This is Aiden's straight away. He's going to come in pole, and I was surprised. I was quite surprised. But we did hear some rumors that you weren't having the funnest race in the world out there. So talk us through it. Come on, give us some info. Give us some insight into your cockpit.
My car too slow, and Honda perhaps too fast. But yeah, that was pretty much it. The first stint, I was doing my best to keep Vale behind. I was lucky enough to get around him in turn one without too much issue. But then I was following the Mustang for the best part of 20 minutes. And the Mustang, I don't know how much of the stream was focused on the fight for P2, but as soon as he pushed the throttle pedal, he was gone. It was really really fast out of corners. So I just had to wait and keep the pressure on and wait until he made a big mistake so that I could actually just send it. And then I had the opportunity in the chicane. He made a big enough mistake on the exit of Ford Curve that I could get alongside. Even at that, he was like 15 Ks down on the exit, and then he pulled up alongside again, going into the next corner. So it's yeah. So I just stuck it. It's like getting an opportunity to get around a Mustang is as rare as a unicorn. So
it did seem a little bit like watching sort of the Bentleys back in their heyday when they were all very slow in the corners, but you could defend corners a lot easier than you can a straight because you can sort of block off the racing line. But then obviously, yeah, they get on in a straight line and just be able to thunder away. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. This is the first race that I have commentated on that's had the Mustang in it, so it was interesting to see how it goes. And obviously with the custom BOP as well, I think it kept everyone pretty even, pretty honest. I think. So Valentine Barrier, he gave us a little bit of a rundown of it, that last little move he made, where there was a little bit of rubbing on the penultimate lap, which is fine. A little bit of trading paint that was his opinion. Was a little bit of rubbing. But apparently you had some fuel issues.
yeah, about 5 or 6 laps to go. I was looking at the time remaining as I crossed the line, and I was looking at my fuel count, and I was like, "Hang on, something's not calculating here." I'm slightly worried because Delfante's like 6-7 seconds ahead. Something's not adding up. Something's not right. Asked my chat, and they're like, yeah, he might lift. He might lift before the finish and just save a lap. And I know full well nobody ever does that.
No, he did not.
If
He
you're
kept
leading
it planted because he had all the time in the world to slow down if he wanted to.
If you can do an extra lap, you always do an extra lap because you're gonna get so many fast guys that under fuel by a liter. Apparently for me, so I had to save a liter in the last 5 laps, all the while doing my best to stay on the podium. So the fight with Vale was it was just a last ditch effort to try and hold on to the position, all the while saving a liter over the last 4 laps. So I was like lifting coast on entry and then making sure he was going super wide on the entry, and then he returned the favor into the hairpin on the penultimate lap and damn near killed me. But yeah.
So maybe
Was-
maybe not quite as as okay for you as it sounded for Barrier.
I need to watch the replay, right? I need to watch the replay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we only saw it from one angle, but there was definitely a little bit of paint rubbing. But yes, it did look like you went very.
The gravel trap on the exit.
Yeah, there was a little bit of dust being kicked up by your tyres. We'll say that at least. It's pickup. It's fine. Nothing wrong with a bit of pickup towards the end of the race. It's all good. Right, Aidan, thank you ever so much for joining us in the booth. I am going to have to move on to Delfante because I didn't even realise that he'd snuck into the booth as well. And it seems wrong to keep the pole man who dominated this race waiting for too much longer. But thank you ever so much, Aidan. Obviously, looking forward to seeing you throughout the rest of the championship. And fingers crossed, this might be the one where you get to take the pole position because it was so bloody close last time. And we thought you were going to have it. I'm sort of, behind the scenes was rooting for you. But yeah, so fingers crossed to a strong continuation in the championship.
Thanks a lot. Much appreciated.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Eric Delfante, the fastest man alive. Good Lord, what a performance you put in this evening.
Hello, guys. Good evening. Thanks.
I mean, apart from during the pit stop stage, I think you led every single lap of this race, seemingly trouble-free. How was it for you out there?
Yes, I think also for the pit stop because I was the last one to pit, so I was in the lead for the whole race.
Yes, you were. Yes, you actually were. Sorry.
But yeah, it was a really good race. It was really consistent from lap 1, so I'm really happy also with my quali lap. So I can say the race was pretty perfect on my side.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like the car was comfortable. You looked happy as well. It just seemed like it all just kind of fell into place and looked good for you the whole way through. I think we were saying I can't remember if it was Barrier or Walsingham now. One of the two of them was saying about, it might be Barrier actually. He was a bit worried about what the car was going to be like later in the season at Bathurst. He was a bit worried there. Have you got any plans to try and make the Honda work at Bathurst?
Yes, I think the main problem is the Honda is a bit sketchy. So at Bathurst is tricky, but I think it can work. I think he's fast pretty everywhere with the BOP also. But yeah, it's sketchy also with the tire usage is also sketchy. So I have to say, I have to. So we will see. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be. I mean, if it's anything like the race that you put in this evening, I don't think you got anything to worry about at all. I was having a quick look through the championship for last season. Were you racing with us last season?
No, it's my second season, but the first complete season.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because I was mid race. I was trying to scroll back through because I've definitely seen your name before, and I'm sure I've yelled it out at some point in the past. And I was looking at it and trying to like go through, and I was like desperately looking through lists and lists of people, seeing if I could spot your name. But yeah, I couldn't come across it. But so I mean, what an entrance into Tier 1 to come in and absolutely dominate the first race. I mean, I imagine, obviously, with some of the big names that haven't showed up for race 1, obviously Luke Whitehead isn't here this race, and Jardier as well isn't here this race. I imagine there were probably some people in there thinking, "Great, I've got a great chance of getting in pole position," and you just dashed their dreams quite brilliantly, sir. So it was fantastic to watch. I mean, you looked comfortable in the car. It just seemed to be consistent. I think you got the fastest lap of the race twice in both stints of the race. I think you managed to take it back in the end. I think it was Papin had it for quite a while in the second half of the race. but then you did manage to take it back, or it might have been Poden's. It was one of the Mustangs had it for quite a long time. But yeah, it was a brilliant race to watch. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Have you anyone you want to give a shout out to before we sort of call it a bit of a night here?
Yeah, thank you. But I said there are a lot of good drivers in this tier, so I'm really happy also because it's my first race in a bit of time. So I didn't expect that, but I'll take it.
Yeah, got to take it when it comes to your doorstep, haven't you? You got to take the wins when they're coming. So I think that's going to be it for us this evening. Thank you ever so much for joining us, Eric Delfante. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I say hopefully we get to talk to you again next week. If you get yourself on the podium again, it would be fantastic. 2 on the trot, who knows? But what a great start to the season. Thank you ever so much for joining us.
Thanks. Have a nice evening.
Cheers. Right, so that is it for the top 3 chat. Amazing to get all the interviews in as well. Thank you ever so much. Right, same time tomorrow if you want more racing, tier 2. Very much similar quality of racing, lots of rising stars. But if it's just tier 1 you're after, I understand. I do understand. Same time next week, same place, 7:30. That's UK time, whatever that would be. Here on YouTube as well. Everything will be here, commentating, live stewarding, all the racing, all the action, as much as you could possibly squeeze into your eyeballs. It will all be coming to you. But thank you ever so much for joining us this evening. The chat has been absolutely fantastic. The racing has been fantastic. And it's been a great intro to my first solo season in Tier 1. Massive shout out to our Patreon supporters as well. And obviously to Driver 61. Thank you ever so much for joining us this evening. And we will see you all in a week.